The Blast from Our Past Network.
Lock your doors, close your windows, turn out your lights, for chills and thrills await you. It's time for Podcasting After Dark with your hosts, Corey Stevenson and Zach Schaefer. Stay with a friend, say your prayers as grisly ghouls close in to seal your doom, and enjoy this bonus episode of Podcasting After Dark.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to a bonus Alien Day video game review. I have my buddy Tim from Talking Back here to discuss Aliens Infestation. It's a fun little side-scroller that both of us have been playing on our DSs. But Tim, buddy, thanks for coming on the show.
Oh, it's my pleasure, Corey. This is like second Christmas for you. Or maybe, is this first Christmas? Is this Christmas?
Alien Day is one of my favorite days of the year. It's a day that I get to celebrate my love for aliens, and the reason I've been playing this game again, by the way, it's from 2011. The reason I've been playing it again is because I think it was on one of your wrap-up episodes on Patreon, that you picked this game up, you were playing it, I was like, well, I'm going to play it again if Tim's playing it. But buddy, give us a little background on like how you discovered this game.
Yeah, hell yeah. I think I discovered it from you initially.
That's the cycle of life.
It is. It totally is. You face hugged me, and then my love for the game burst out of my chest. But yeah, I think you were talking about it on one of your episodes, and I thought, oh, that sounds like a really cool game. I should get that. And I looked it up, and it was like $120 or something. And I was like, oh, I'm not getting that. That's crazy. But then I recently got back into DS, and I've been looking for games to play. And yeah, it turns out that all of the best DS games just cost a ton of money. And I think it's because they're so good. So I was like, I made a little list of DS games that I wanted. I went to a local anime show, and I was just like looking through the stuff that this guy had. And he had Alien Infestation in the box, $120. And I was like, I think it was even more, like $140. And I said, I can't do that. He saw me touching it. Like I picked it up and looked at it, and I was like, oh, wow, he has it. And then I was like, oh, it's too much. And I put it back, and then I picked it up again, and I was like trying to convince myself to do it, but I couldn't do it. So I put it down, and then I noticed he had a loose cartridge of it. And he was only asking like $40 for the loose cartridge, I think.
Nice.
So yeah, I pulled the trigger on that, and man, this game is so much better than I even thought it was going to be. It is exactly the style of game that I love to play. Just easily one of the top DS games in my opinion. But what's your background with this game? Like, I heard about it from you. Where did you hear about this? How did you get your hands? You have this game with the box, with the instructions. You've got everything. So you've got like a gold mine sitting on your hands. I'm sure you'll never sell it, which is totally the right call. But how did you come about this?
Yeah, dude, it's the only DS game I have because I bought a 3DS. I never owned a DS, and I have a handful of games for the 3DS, but I never played them too much. Kind of hurts my eyes a little bit to do the whole 3D thing, you know, kind of makes you go cross-eyed like in that movie The Jerk. But I picked this up pretty much when it came out. It was on my radar back in the day, 2011. Oh, geez, was I even out in LA at that point? I don't know. I can't remember. But yeah, I guess I was. But yeah, I picked it up new when it came out, and I was like, holy crap, this is awesome. It was already on my radar. Usually anything aliens related is on my radar, especially if it's Colonial Marines related. And Tim, this is definitely a love letter to the Colonial Marines from the movie Aliens.
It 100% is. Yeah. I'm just shocked that this came out in 2011 because I'm playing it now, right? 2026. And it is as good as any other game that I'm playing right now. It's so tight. To think that this came out 15 years ago, this must have blown your freaking mind back in 2011.
It did, especially the art by Chris Bachalo, who I was already a fan of from Marvel Comics and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm replaying it right now. I'm guessing for the third or the fourth time I'm going through it. Well, I guess I'm picking up a saved. I started like playing like sort of halfway through. I once I beat it, I'll probably restart it. But yeah, like the artwork is amazing, the cover art's amazing, and the controls are just absolutely stunning. Let's praise this in 1 second. Let me give a little bit of a background on the game itself, just a little bit,
Yeah,
and then
sure.
a little tiny story synopsis. Spoiler free. We're not gonna get any spoilers, and then we'll just kind of see where the conversation goes.
Yeah, hold on. Actually, before we even get to that,
Yeah.
let's just touch on
Yeah.
how this all came to be, because
Yeah, oh, yeah.
we literally
Yeah.
we literally decided to do this hours ago.
Hours
ago.
ago.
Now, several days ago, I was thinking to myself, oh man, Alien Day's coming up. I've been playing this game and Corey's playing it. We should totally do an Aliens Day episode. And then I was thinking, man, I really need to beat the game first so that we can have this like a proper conversation about it. And I wasn't progressing fast enough. Like I was going as fast as I could, but I wasn't getting far enough. And I got
It's
to
not an easy game.
It's not easy. It's also scary. So sometimes,
It is
sometimes I don't want to
scary.
pick it up.
I know.
But I'm at like 75%. And I'm thinking, I was literally thinking like today, I'm like, I need to go home and see if I can beat this game today because I'm running out of time to talk to Corey and see if he can even do this. And meanwhile, you messaged me today and you're like, hey man, I know this is late notice, but I was going to drop an Infestation episode. Do you want to be on it? And I'm like, well, I'm only 75%, but fuck it. I was already going to ask you to do this. Let's just freaking do it. So we literally just put this together. We scraped this together hours ago. It's hilarious. I love it.
I know. And I was like, well, and because when I heard you were playing it on the wrap up, I was like, okay, I'll hit Tim up and maybe we can, review it. And I was same problem. I was like moving slow through it, not playing it as much as I kind of wanted to. And it was kind of scaring me. And I'm just like, I don't want to lose my Marines.
Yeah, totally.
And again, the days, and it's encroaching. The Alien Day's encroaching. And I was like, crap, but I was like, I've beaten it before and we're not going to like talk about the ending. So I just like shot in the dark. I was like on the treadmill today. I was like, all right, I'm just going to hit up Tim, see if he's good. I'm like, I know he's not going to be able to do it, but like, all right, let me try. And I'm happy that you did. And yeah, here we are, like 2 hours later. So
It's an
great.
Alien Day miracle. That's basically what's going on here.
It is. It's a Festivus miracle. So, all right. Aliens Infestation is a Metroidvania-style side-scroller developed by WayForward Technologies and published by Sega for the Nintendo DS in 2011. The game received generally positive reviews from critics who praised the atmosphere, graphics, and art design. The cover art, as well as the character designs and avatars, were drawn by comic book artist Chris Bachalo. So that's a little bit just of the backstory of the game. And then the story itself, the USS Sephora has discovered the USS Sulaco adrift in space after the events of Aliens and Alien 3. The Colonial Marines are sent aboard the Sulaco to investigate and recover the life form detected aboard the ship. And that's kind of like, a broad sort of, story background for it. But there's a lot more to it, and you go to a lot more places than just the Sulaco. But I got to say, as a super fan, it is cool to go through the Sulaco.
Absolutely. You had mentioned earlier it's a love letter to the Colonial Marines, and it completely is, because you're playing as a team of Colonial Marines, and all the weapons are there. The grenades are there, rocket launchers are there, flamethrowers. The pulse rifle, which I can see just behind you sitting there, is there. The minigun even you get at one point. I went through a super hard boss battle, not realizing I even had that gun, and they had given it to me to get through that battle. And I was like, why is this so freaking hard? And I lost like so many of my Marines, and then I realized after I was using the wrong gun. But yeah, just all this stuff, all this stuff that you love is in this game.
Yeah, and you mentioned the Marines, so basically your roster of Marines you can choose from you can hold 4 at a time, and you can select from them during the save points. You can switch them out if you want. You can find more hidden throughout all the different levels. And it's cool because they all look the same when they move, although they have like sort of color palette variations, but their idle animation is unique to each one, and they have their own like sort of unique profile image. Again, everything's drawn by Chris Bachalo, who I absolutely love his artwork. He gives so much sort of detail and personality to each Marine, even just the way some have their helmets on, some have their helmets off, some of their helmets are crooked, some of the guys are a little skinny, some of the guys are bulkier. There's a lot of female Marines in this, and they have a lot of personality to them. Now, Tim, the only thing I gotta say, there is no variation, though, to them when you play as them.
Right. Yeah, I'll touch on that in 1 second. I just wanted to say Chris Bachalo, is that how you say it?
I believe so.
The artist of the game. I learned today he's from Portage La Prairie, which is a small town 45 minutes away from me.
Oh, dude, go knock on his door, man.
Yeah,
get him to sign your copy.
I don't know if he's still there, but if he is, yeah, maybe. I'll pop in there, see if he can lend me one of the boxes for the game.
Right. Yeah, I'm sure he's got a lot of them.
Yeah. So,
but yeah, what do you think of the Marines?
Yeah, so I do like them. I like how different they look. I was hoping that they would sort of play a little bit differently, even if it was maybe just a speed difference, or like maybe someone moves slower but their gun shoots faster, just something small. But like, the game is so good in almost every way that's a very small thing I got over really quick. I'm like, they're already doing so much in the game that this is just me being selfish and wanting more. But if they could have done something like that, that would have been nice. I do like how, like, their idle animation, if you let them sit for long enough, they'll do something like take their helmet off, and then like I had this girl, and she flick her hair around and then put her helmet back on. But yeah, I mean, I think it's fine. I think it could have been better, but also with how much they already packed into this game, maybe they wanted to do that and just didn't have the memory for it or something like that.
I kind of have to do it. It just breaks it,
Yeah, I mean, it's possible they never even thought of it,
True.
I was a big fan of Alien 3, the video game for the NES.
Yes.
I think you played that as well, right?
Yep.
So getting into this one, man, it was just sort of like, what if Alien 3 got a complete revamp and all the things that you were sort of wishing for out of Alien 3 actually came true in this game? Because it played very similar, but there were so many more like quality of life improvements and more things for you to do. Like, Alien 3 is not Metroidvania style. It's just a classic like action game. This is the Metroidvania style, which is more of like the action but also search type game. Like, you can upgrade your guns, you can collect items, there's areas you can get to that you need to unlock that, you can't get to right away, but then later in the game. I always love these games where like right in level 1, you get to a door that has like you need level 6 access for this. And that like that's probably going to be the final moment of the game. You're going to go all the way back to the beginning and open up that door you haven't been able to open the entire game and go to like your final boss battle or something like that. But that's the type of game I love. Like, I love the Metroidvania style where you're just, you start to feel at home in the world. Like, they're normally like one large castle or something, or one large world, and you sort of like,
and in this case it's a spaceship. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it's a spaceship, and normally you like unlock different areas that you can get to. I thought this game did it really well because you actually travel to different levels. So I think there's like 4 or 5 different actual places you go to instead of sticking to that one world. So it felt really good. And I think that's what you want in an Alien game. You want it to feel obviously like Aliens. I think that's one of the best things that they did was this game really felt like an Alien game to me. The elements that I love from Aliens are in this game. You've got the Marines, you've got the shooting, you've got the grenading, but you've got some quiet moments. They have jump scares.
With the cats jumping out.
Yeah, the cats will jump out just like Jonesy jumps out just like an alien would, and you're like, oh, holy shit, what the fuck, you stupid cat. And then you're like, oh my gosh, you have to collect yourself for a second.
Yeah.
But there's a level of dread in the game that started to happen in later levels for me, and I just really appreciated it. It's like what we were saying, like I would put it down and I might not pick it up because I just felt like I didn't want that dread. Like, getting stuck in between a couple of save points, where you're like, well, I don't really know where to go next. And if I put myself too far out there, I'm going to get killed. Right. And I'm going to lose my progress. And it's like, that's how this game should be. This is not the type of game you can just walk through with a single man. Like, you're going to get destroyed by the
Yeah.
aliens because they're very strong, they're very powerful.
Take a lot of shots.
A lot of shots. You don't really know where to go. I found early on the save points were actually pretty far away from each other.
Yeah, they kind of space them out pretty far, which I think kind of tries to like push you that step further, like just try to get there. I just want to get to that next save point, and then all of a sudden, like I'm down to like my last pulse rifle clip, and I'm almost there, and you're hoping that the next door you open will be the save point. And a lot of times, because the level design is so good that yeah, it is like you're almost dead, and you're like boom, you open that save point up, but if your Marine dies, like if you have other Marines in your roster, the new Marine will be where the old one just died, but you've lost that one Marine. So you got to kind of keep refilling your character roster so you can have them as options to move forward. But then at the same time, you start getting characters that you like. So I start pushing the guys that I don't like a little bit out there, and then kind of saving the people that I do like. And, you know, like you were saying with like it being a Metroidvania style game, you know, it's, yeah, you got to go, you can't go through this door until you get the key card, or, you know, you got to find a welder. So it's, you know, they also, you know, dive into the alien lore and everything. So like you have to weld open doors and stuff like that. And then Tim, there's like vents where you can go into like these unmapped areas of the ship and of the like, it's like the sewer systems or something on the planet and everything. And I believe, I can't remember if it's happened to me before, and tell me if it's happened to you, but you can actually have your Marines captured and cocooned, and you have a certain amount of time to go find them in one of those cocooned areas and actually cut them down. Has that happened to you yet?
That is cool. I've been to the cocooned areas, but I haven't seen one of my Marines there, but I don't think that I've actually tried that. So that's neat. And actually there was one Marine I really felt bad losing. A couple of them I was like, whatever, I don't care. But there was one that I was using and I didn't want to lose, and then I lost her. And I was like, I want to turn the game off and like reset it so she's back. But I kind of wanted to play it more pure than that as well. So I didn't get her, but yeah.
This won't be your only playthrough, buddy. You'll play it again, I'm sure.
100% I'll play this again. Like probably my favorite game on DS before playing this was Metroid Fusion. And
yeah,
they're essentially like the same game. Like it's the exact same game style. It's the same idea, except it takes place in the Metroid world, you know? So this was such a fun take on that, you know, instead of your Metroid blaster, you've got the pulse rifle and grenades, and it's just fun to run and gun. Yeah, you're mentioning those like sewer areas. Those areas are like areas you'll get health upgrades and more ammo and stuff like that. And those are things you can find in the level normally, but these sewers are kind of like, if you're in trouble, go into the sewer and you know you'll find something good. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes you find like the alien, like the face hugger pods. There's a whole bunch of them. And sometimes it's a wrong turn and you're like, holy shit, I'm in big trouble.
Yeah.
But it is sort of like if you're feeling like you're in big trouble in between the save points, you can always try to go into a sewer pipe and just find some health. And I found that made the game a little bit too easy at times. So I tried to avoid that stuff, but I like that it's there. It sort of like reduces the difficulty level and allows you almost to choose how you want to play the game. If you just want to get, you know, health whenever you can do that. If you want a little bit more of that dread, trying to make it from save point to save point, you can also do that. So I like the way they laid it out.
Yeah, and as far as like difficulty goes, you know, we mentioned there's obviously facehuggers, there's chestbursters, there's xenomorphs. There's also like Weyland-Yutani grunts, there's like androids that you're fighting, and there's like even like a cover mechanic that you can kind of crouch and put your back against a crate and kind of like shoot over it and stuff like that. And I mean, I find myself getting messed up by some of those droids sometimes. And even the other, you know, the Weyland-Yutani mercenaries have, you know, pulse rifles, so they're shooting at you too, you know, so there's a lot going on. There's enough like variation. And what I also love is just the sprite artwork, you know, so guys and gals, it's all sprite based, which means it's all like hand drawn. Everything's hand drawn, and it's a sprite based game. but the backgrounds have such amazing details. I mean, everything from like you're in a hangar. So what's in a hangar? A dropship. You know, it's side scroller. So it's like you're seeing it from like the side. But Tim, I know you did the stage, I think it was on LV-426 or whatever, but there was like a whole battle going on in the background. People are like fighting aliens. It's like they don't attack you. They're just like technically in the background. And like people are like getting killed by aliens behind you as you're trying to make your way through this level. There's just so much detail happening. The art alone, it's a beautiful game. And I love like 2D sprite-based games, and thank God we live in a new golden age of them, you know, starting with Streets of Rage 4 that came out. But like, this is just, it's beautiful, man. I love looking at it. It makes me want to draw, you know?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's like the 16-bit era graphics, but when you take 16-bit, like from a large screen and you crunch it down into a little tiny 2DS screen, it looks incredible. And I often find myself just stopping, and I made a point of it because I probably played for a couple hours before I even looked at the backgrounds. You know, I was just like, oh, this is really fun and cool, and I'm scared and what's going on. And then I was like, dude, slow down and actually take a look at what's going on here. Everything's so detailed. You've got like different layers of parallax happening as you're walking through the level. And some of my favorite spots are just some of the more quiet spots. Like you might pass through an office and it's got like a gigantic window in the background, and I'll just stop and look out into space for a minute or two and just kind of take it all in. But yeah, I mean, like not just the characters, but the backgrounds and the level design and everything is just top notch.
Yeah, and then like, you know, there's a little bit of variations, like you get to play with the APC, you know,
Yeah.
kind of like shoot aliens that are attacking you and everything. And they try to throw in little gimmicky stuff like using the stylus for the DS or whatever, which is fine. You know, it's cool. I don't mind it. The APC stuff was actually pretty tough. But yeah, man, I love the backgrounds, and then the controls like are so precise. You mentioned them before, like your characters can run, they can kind of like roll dodge. And I find myself like, if I'm fighting like, you know, a xenomorph, I roll back, I shoot, I roll back. And then usually I'm just like, F them, let me just use the grenade launcher and kill them. You know what I mean? But they take so much damage. It's not easy, and you kind of have to like figure out a sort of a way to do it. But the controls are so precise that I never feel like if I lose, it's not like, oh, the game's cheap. It's like, no, I messed up that move. Like I did it, you know? So it's awesome. And you have like a stamina meter.
Yeah.
So like you can't roll indefinitely because that uses up your stamina meter. And then you can run, but if you're running through a stage, I mean, just xenomorphs drop out of the ceiling, they pop out of the ground, they come out of the walls, they're coming out of the goddamn walls, you know? It's like, it's just, it nails everything. You said it. It just nails everything that you could possibly want. It gets to so many little things like your map. You got your map. The sound is going boop. You know, the sound is happening. I'm playing in bed next to the motion tracker. And I'm like playing in bed next to my wife. And she's like, can you turn that down a little bit? I'm like, yeah, I get it. Cause you hear the boop every 2 seconds, you know, but I love it. I love that sound. I could go to sleep to that sound, bro.
Same. And it's so important that they get that sound right. You know, if that sound is a little bit off, every time it beeps, I'm going to be like, oh man, that's cool, but that's not the right sound. You know, it's a little bit off. It's the perfect sound. It's the perfect tempo of the beeping. Everything's so accurate. The scream of the aliens when they die is so perfect. It's just great. And yeah, like touching on the weapons really quick, like you have so many different weapons, but everything's a little bit different. You know, like when I start the game and I see that I have hand grenades and I have a grenade launcher, I think to myself, those are going to act exactly the same damage-wise, but they don't. The hand grenade is more powerful than the rocket launcher. Your pulse rifle is more powerful than the flamethrower, but you can run out of bullets with your pulse rifle, but your flamethrower is kind of on like a cooldown. So you can have your stream firing out and it'll start to get a little bit smaller and you have to let it recharge again, but you won't run out of ammo. So maybe you need to take your flamethrower into a certain area. Then there was the minigun, which I haven't actually used before because I forgot I even had it, but you've got flares.
And the shotgun, obviously, typical shotgun.
I don't even have the
you
shotgun
know?
yet. I don't think.
Oh,
I gotta get that. I gotta
shotgun.
find.
You get the shotgun way early on, bro. You must have missed it.
You got the shotgun early on. I guess I missed the shotgun early on.
I guess so. Talk about the flares because I didn't really use them that much. What did you use them for?
I used them by accident at first, and then I figured out what to use them for, and I haven't really gotten an opportunity to do it again. So it has to do with your the Marines. So you have your squad of 4. If someone dies, you can find other people in the map. Now, this was a bit construed for me because coming in, I thought if you found a Marine, you would just like have that Marine in your arsenal, and maybe you could have like 10 or 15 banked up. And if you lose one, you can just choose another one to add to your squad. But you can only have a maximum of 4, even if you come across Marines in the field. So if you come across a Marine and you have less than 4, they will come with you. If you have 4, they will stay where they are. So I realized you drop the flare where they are if they don't come with you. And then once you lose a Marine, check for where your flares are, go back and pick up one of those Marines.
Okay, good point. I think I dropped them in the cocoon area in case I had to go back and get somebody, but I didn't think to drop them in the, yeah. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Okay, good point. But yeah, I mean, it's there. It's like, it's interesting. It's like you might beat the game and not finding the shotgun, and that's okay. I
might even have it. I don't even know.
Well, do you know how to switch weapons in the save area, right?
I mean,
where you can go into...
that's what I just figured out not too long ago with the minigun. I was like, because I would always just go to the terminal, which was on the left-hand side. I didn't even realize that there were guns on the right-hand side that you could change. I changed the flamethrower because I kind of got stuck. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And finally realized, oh, here's where the flamethrower is. It's right here on the wall. Then later I realized there were other guns there, so I might have the shotgun. I have no idea. If I do, I want to play with that sucker.
See, it's cool because the game doesn't like hold your hand with a lot of stuff. And yeah, for a while it's like that looks like just background dressing, but no, that's where you actually, swap out your weapons and everything. And yeah, dude, like, yeah. That's hilarious. But like, yeah, and I may beat the game for the 4th time without using the flares. And there's the logic to things which I love. Like the pulse rifle is the only thing that can use the grenade rounds. You can use your hand grenades. Anybody, any weapon can have hand grenades, but the pulse rifle is the only one that can use the underbarrel grenade launcher. So it's like stuff like that is fun. Other little, attention to detail, like here's a minor spoiler. It's like 40% of the way into the game. You're on LV-426 and the space jockey, you fight basically a space jockey creature, and it's like, oh man, this was made before Prometheus, before they were engineers. And I'm like, I still love the space jockey better than engineers. So it's fun stuff like that. But yeah, this game is such a love letter specifically to aliens and specifically to the Colonial Marines.
It is. Yeah, 100%. And they give you the stuff that you would want out of that. Like of course you want to be on the Sulaco. You want to be running around the Sulaco. You want to get into one of those, whatever those yellow worker things are. What do they call them?
Yeah, the power loader.
You want to get into a power loader. You want that to be part of the game, right? And they have that in there for you. You go to LV-426. You go to Hadley's Hope. You're running around. I'm not sure why there were people there that are like humans fighting against you. I didn't quite understand that, but that's okay.
I think those were the Weyland-Yutani mercs that were basically down there. But
okay.
Yeah, well, but then wouldn't they have been sort of nuked by the explosion of the reactor, and
that's everything? Another thing I thought too, because this takes place after Aliens. So yeah. LV-426 shouldn't even be there, but I think they're kind of, that's one of the things I like though. They're kind of like, look, everybody who's a lover of aliens is going to want to go to LV-426. Who cares? Let's just throw it in there. Send them there. I prefer that they did that rather than like be like, oh, no, the continuity wouldn't allow us to do that. Just give us the fucking level. Then they create a brand new level, this Phobos. That's not in Aliens. I think that's a moon of Mars. It's just like, let's throw them to another planet. And it looks so cool. It's such a nice break from sort of like the gritty, grimy stuff we've been getting with the Marines. It's like this, it's almost like this kind of like posh like science facility. And the graphics were completely different. It was a wonderful break. And and then you kind of like go back to the Sulaco for like this big, much larger sort of final section of the game where more of the ship is unlocked for you.
Yeah, and they try to throw in a little bit of extras. So like you sort of somewhere through the game, you also can unlock a little mini game that you can play with your stylus, which is essentially the knife trick. So
Oh, no
like,
way.
yes, like save your. It might actually happen when you beat the game, and if that's the case, I apologize
That's
to
okay.
you.
It might happen when you get the shotgun. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe, yeah. But like, when they try to give you a little bit of something, and like, so like when you go to a save point, you save the game, then you exit out to the little main screen. You can go also look at like your roster of Marines that you have, and they have like X's over the ones that have died, and you can actually like just go and read their little background story. That's the shit that I love. Like, I just love the Marines. I love the way they look. For me, a lot of this, the draw for this was that Chris Baccialo's art, the way he just drew. I wish he would draw more Colonial Marine stuff because
Totally.
I love the way he did it. The cover for this is amazing. Now, I did, Tim, you bought the game itself. You didn't buy the box, but I tell you, there's nothing in that the instruction manual. There's nothing worth owning for like another $50 in that instruction manual. There's nothing there. So, guys and gals, if you're out there and you find the game itself, but you're like, oh, should I own the box? Or it's just a box. No, don't spend the extra money for it. That instruction manual has nothing. It doesn't even have those cool like dossier like on all the Marines like I thought it did. I sent you pictures of that, and then I was like, well, let me look in my instruction manual. There's nothing there. I sent Tim like a video of it. There's nothing in here.
Yeah,
Don't pay
the
for
state
it.
of video game instruction manuals is very sad and has been for a long time. I mean, one of my favorite parts about getting a game was just getting the game and going
Yeah.
like start to finish through the instruction manual and just looking at all the
Yeah.
characters you were going to encounter, looking at what each button did. Oh man, that's a lost art for sure.
Oh, absolute friggin' Lily. Nowadays, I mean, I buy everything digitally anyways, so,
Yeah.
instruction manuals be damned. But yeah, I mean, as far as like reviews go, I mean, obviously if this is my fourth playthrough, you guys, you know what I think of it. But yeah, before your final thoughts, is there anything on your notes that we didn't touch on that you wanted to touch on?
No, I think we got to everything actually. The only thing I would say about just Way Forward, the company that made this game, they did a Contra 4 for the DS. So that's next
Yeah.
on my radar. I'm really curious to see how that game plays out. I actually might even own it, but I bought like a Contra pack for the Switch, and it's got like 8 games on there. I'm not even sure which one. So I might own that, but I want the pure experience on the DS. So I'm going to keep my eye out for that one.
Yeah, Way Forward, they're kind of like a big name in hand-drawn 2D sprite-based, side scrollers. Although I don't really, it's so funny again, like with the Streets of Rage 4 kind of started this whole new console era of 2D, side scrollers. And I haven't seen anything by Way Forward, so maybe they just kind of stick with handheld stuff. But for a while, they were sort of the go-to people. That was another reason this was on my radars, because it was by them. And I was like, oh, damn, I'd already known that they were like, quality dev team,
Yeah. Well, yeah, they did such a great job. I mean, I really feel like this is a game that you would make, with your love for
Right.
aliens and for the
Thank
Marines.
you.
Like you'd sit down and you would conceive of an idea like this. So, you said it before, it's a love letter to fans, and my gosh, dude, I mean, this is a 10 out of 10 game for me. It's one of those games where I all I want to do is play it, but also I'm like holding myself
Scared.
back. I'm scared at times, and also holding myself back because I don't want it to be done. But I know I'll just pick it up again anyways, so I should just go ahead and plow through it. But yeah, fuck, dude, this game rules, man. It's so much better than I was expecting.
Yeah, it really is. It really, you said it earlier. I think the only thing I would ding it on, my only wish list, is that each Marine would have some sort of trait that was better to them. Wouldn't it be awesome if like one character, like their flame unit, would do more damage, or another character? I mean, obviously then you could be like, okay, one character would have a smart gun, or something. Yeah, you could get into the weeds of that. That would be the only thing I would change. But clearly it's not holding me back from enjoying this game. It's not holding me back from playing it 4 times through and more than that. So yeah, man,
Yeah.
It's a 10 out of 10. It is everything that I would have made for an Aliens game. And yeah, this is pretty much it.
Yeah, and that's a small ask, like having them just have small differences, but that would actually be such a huge upgrade to the game, because you have these 4 different looking Marines, and I got attached to some of them. Like they're all they have very different characteristics. So it's very easy to say, this is the guy or girl I want to use. This guy's kind of a nerd. I don't feel like I'd want to send him out into this battle, so I'm not going to use him. But if they each had different abilities that allowed you to have a little bit of a different game style, you'd really latch on a lot harder to certain characters, and the loss of them would be much more impactful than it actually is, because since everybody plays the same, you lose somebody, they get put in with the next sort of generic playing player. It doesn't really make that much of a difference. But if you played 80% of the game with the guy who had like a more powerful flamethrower, and you learned how to play that way, and that was your play style, and you lost that guy, you'd really be kicking yourself for not having that guy anymore.
Yeah, that's the only drawback of this game. But, I mean, what we do have is pretty damn amazing. And I know this was kind of in development at the same time as that Gearbox Colonial Marines game was. That was a complete debacle. So this was pretty much the best thing, Colonial Marine wise. There's some good stuff now. Dark Descent is pretty good as far as Colonial Marine stuff goes. But, this is still a go-to for me. By the way, Tim, remember we reviewed it way back in the day, that Aliens Tribes book. I'm actually rereading that as well.
Oh, nice. That was a great read.
It's so good. This is like my 10th read through of it, because it's like a novella. Yeah. It's so short, so it's just so easy. But yeah, man, for Aliens Day, I thought this was perfect, and I'm glad we were able to actually, get this in, in the nick of time, essentially. So as soon as we're done recording, I'm going to start editing this so we can, put it out there and everything. But yeah, man, guys and gals, if you're listening to this on the Podcast After Dark feed, Tim, what you got going on, for the rest of this month, for the rest of April going into May?
I don't know.
On Talking Back.
I don't know.
Oh, okay. Are you week to week, buddy?
No, we're ahead. We're too far ahead. So I actually don't know. I don't know what's. I don't want to give too much of a spoiler.
Much I don't know.
Yeah, because I might give away what's coming up next month instead. We're about a month ahead with our episodes, so.
Wow, what is that like, man? I don't even know what that's like, bro.
It's nice. What it means is that if I die, you still get a month of episodes. That's really all that it means.
As a Patreon member, thank God, but please don't die.
I do have a question for you though. So I know you had mentioned that this Alien Infestation is not your favorite Alien game, and I want to ask you, what is your favorite Alien game if this is not it, or is this it?
Oh. Yeah, I mean, I don't really have one particular one. I like that Dark Descent one, which is kind of like if you've ever played XCOM, it's kind of like sort of an isometric top down, but you can basically it's more of like a squad based shooter. But again, it's also a Colonial Marine aspect of it. And I did a review of it a while back on here, but I'll just say I love that, because I love being able to control a squad of Colonial Marines and everything like that. And the cool thing is you can actually change people's names and stuff, so you can give them real names. So you and Dean have been a part of my squad as well. I love dude. Awesome. For some reason, I love games. I did this in XCOM too. I love games where I can change characters' names and I make them just my friends and stuff, and I get you're more attached to them. Yeah. Okay, nice. I love that. This is a great representation of Colonial Marines, and I also liked that Fireteam Elite game. Right. That third-person shooter, squad-based shooter. I played the hell out of that for a while as well. So they're all three of those games are sort of they're different. There's different aspects of them. And I played, remember the old Aliens Trilogy game back in the day for the PS1? I actually still have my copy of it. But but I platinumed that Dark Descent. So that tells you how much time I actually put into that. Yeah, they're all for different reasons, and this one is definitely, this is my favorite art style. I love the way, I'll say it a million times, I love the way Chris Baccialo draws the Marines. They're kind of cartoony, but at the same time, it's still, there's a lot of detail to the armor. And as someone who's really analyzed Colonial Marine armor, he knew his shit. He knew where all the rivets and all the indentations and all the armor pieces are and everything. I love that shit.
Yeah, this whole game was obviously like just a great love letter, and yeah, he knew what he was doing with the designs. It's like a cartoony comic book style, really neat. Man, I loved it. Thanks for introducing me to this, and yeah, man, thanks for chatting with me about it.
Of course, thanks for last minute agreeing to this.
I'm the type of guy who will not last minute agree to something, and you probably knew that. You probably thought going in with your request, there's like a 0.1% chance he'll agree to this.
0.1, yeah.
But I love that you.
I was like, it's not going to happen.
That's all I needed to push me over the edge, and I was like, I was already thinking this, and the fact that he tuned in, we're doing this, but. Yeah, man. Yeah, what's Talking Back? We have a podcast, a retro podcast. We're out there. We're part of the BFOP network. You could find us. You probably know about us. Check us out. That's all, or not.
Okay.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Tim's got all his toys. You're like, it's okay. I'll be fine.
The sun will still rise tomorrow if you don't tune into Talking Back, so it's all good.
Well, I hope everyone does, because I'm a fan. I'm a Patreon member, and I listen to you guys all the time. Usually, I try to listen to day one. I have not had a chance to listen to part 2 of the Mad episode. It's been a crazy week over here, but I'll listen to it by the end of the week. I always do. But yeah, you guys always put out some great content, and yeah, we've done some crossovers before, so I'm sure you guys can track them down. But go back and listen to our Aliens Tribe review. That was a lot of fun. So we had a good time with that. I actually got Tim to read. That was a big deal as well.
Unbelievable. Yeah. It's a rare thing. I haven't read again since I read that, which is a couple of years ago. I don't read.
I haven't picked up a book since.
I will do graphic novels. I will do comic books. I will not do books or novellas. I just can't do it. But yeah, that one captivated me. But yeah. No, we've done. We did a review of the William Gibson Alien 3 alternate version. Yep. You, me, and Dean did that a while back. You and I have done that. That was like the What If Alien, the Burke Carter What If one.
What if he wins?
We also did that. So yeah. So we've got, if people want more, if people listen to this and liked it, we've got more content out there. Alien team up stuff. Yeah,
that's why this was perfect. That's why I knew we had to do it, and I knew you felt it in your bones as well. But I hope everyone is technically dropping the day after Alien Day, but it's always Alien Day over here in Pad Studio North and in Talking Back World, I'm sure, as well. But happy Alien Day to everybody, and Tim, thanks for coming on, man. I really appreciate it. I always have a lot of fun chatting with you.
My pleasure, man.
Be sure to subscribe to Podcasting After Dark on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. You can support the show by joining our Patreon page, picking up a t-shirt from our merch store, or leaving us a 5-star review. Follow us on Instagram at Podcasting After Dark. All links can be found on our website at www.podcastingafterdark.com. And join us next time for another cult movie or TV show review with Corey Stevenson and Zach Schaefer.